Okay, first grade, this video is going to be for Social Studies, Unit 5, Lesson 5. You will need your textbook on pages 250 all the way through 253, and then we'll go ahead and do our practice book, page 42. Okay, let's go ahead and get started first with the textbook. (250) and 251 is the beginning of Lesson 5. Lesson 5 is all about how people share their cultures. Remember, your culture is everything that makes you who you are. It could be all the different types of food that you eat, the language that you speak, the music you listen to, the clothes that you wear, the religion that you have. All of that makes up your culture. So let's see how people share those cultures with one another. Really, where we live, it's so incredible. We have such an amazing community that is so diverse. There are so many different cultures that are represented here. Let's go ahead and get started on page 250. Lesson 5 is called Sharing Cultures. In Lee's culture, the celebration of Chinese New Year lasts for 15 days. A celebration is a time to be happy about something special. Let's take a look right here as he is celebrating in his own unique way for his culture. Chinese New Year here, look at the clothes that he's wearing. Take a look at what he's holding in his hand. Do you recognize what those are? Those are chopsticks for him to use for eating. Maybe you've used those before, or maybe you use different utensils for your eating. But also notice the picture behind him. What is taking place behind him? This looks incredible. Notice all the people who are sitting down and lining the streets. This must be a parade. And look here too. Part of the parade includes this incredibly beautiful dragon. These dragon dancers are performing along the parade route. This is a really special way to share their culture. Let's keep reading. Each day of Chinese New Year has a different custom or way of doing something. It is a custom to celebrate the last night of Chinese New Year with a lantern festival. Now, when you celebrate the New Year here in the United States, maybe you have a special celebration that you do too. All of that makes this world such an interesting place. Let's keep reading. Lee did not grow up in China. He is learning about his Chinese culture from the traditions, celebrations, and customs of his family and his community. We've talked about this a couple times before. When you are small, your family helps to teach you about the special customs and traditions that they would like you to also share and practice with them. Think about all the different ways you celebrate, and the way that your family celebrates a holiday a special way might be different than the way someone else celebrates that same holiday. When you're ready, let's turn. Look here at this picture, and let's go ahead and read together. Anita's family is from Mexico. Every year on May 5th, they celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Cinco in Spanish is the number 5. De means of. Mayo means May. It's the 5th of May. That's why it's celebrated on May 5th. Cinco de Mayo is a celebration to honor Mexico. There are many different celebrations in our country. Each culture is proud of its customs and traditions. Sharing special celebrations helps us learn about each other. Let's take a look at how Anita is celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Look carefully at what she's wearing. And look what she has in her hands. Do you know what those are? That's an instrument called a maraca. And maracas have something inside of them. Sometimes it's beans or small pebbles that when you shake the maraca, it makes a sound. Notice too the picture behind her. What's taking place there? Here we see dancers that are performing. They all have a similar style of dress. And notice their hairstyle too. Notice how they have long braids and there are ribbons that are included in their braids. And then also maybe notice their shoes. You know, dancers often have different shoes that are appropriate for their dances. And these ones here, well, I imagine maybe they're using them in a special way to perhaps stomp a rhythmic pattern on the stage. I want to show you something that I have. When I see this picture, I remembered that's something that I have. Let me show you. A few years ago, I went to the city of LA, Los Angeles, and when I was there, I went to a place called Olvera Street. Olvera Street has many different Mexican restaurants and shops and stores, and when I went inside one of the clothing stores, I noticed how some of the clothes were so interesting and different than the clothes that I usually wear. They are created in a way and a style that is so special and it's so different, and I thought this shirt was so beautiful, and it looks very similar to the one that Anita is wearing in this picture. Notice how there are bright colors. Not only are there bright colors on the flowers, but also even in between the flowers. Notice all of this stitching here with different colors. I also like the style where there's a ribbon along the top and even on the sleeves here too. And there's one other thing I want to show you. I also have this very mini sombrero. This very small sombrero is also an example of the bright colors that we see represented here. I liked the way that this had bright colors, but also that I just thought it was so fun. Let's go ahead and finish up by reading this final page in our textbook. Look at this picture before we start reading. What do you think is taking place in that picture? I think it looks like a birthday. Here are the clues. I see birthday hats. I see children gathered around one child who is opening up a gift, and I see another present sitting right next to it. Let's read the summary together. People celebrate special times. We share our cultures, customs, and traditions when we celebrate with others. Great job reading. Let's go ahead and take a look at our practice book. In your homework and practice book, let's open up to page 42. Make sure you have name, number, date on either side of page 42 or on page 41. Page 42 is called Let's Eat. Read the sentences. Write a check mark, and they show you a check mark, next to the customs you share. Then write about your family's customs for meals. Here we're going to read about this situation, and we need to decide what is true for you. Maybe the answers that are true for you might not match the answers that are true for me, and that's totally okay. Let's go ahead and read together. In Japan, people eat their meals at a low table. They sit on pillows and eat with chopsticks. They enjoy talking with family and friends. And here we see an example of that kind of table. Notice it's very low and close to the ground. And instead of chairs, there's simply pillows. Take a look at how they've set the table. There are different types of bowls and cups here. And only chopsticks. There are no other type of utensils for eating. You need to decide what is true for you. I'm going to read a few of these here, and if it's true for you, put a check mark. If it's not true, then leave it blank. Sit at a table. When you eat a meal, do you usually sit at a table? If that's true, put a check mark. Sit on pillows. If you eat a meal, do you usually sit on pillows? Now, I don't just mean, well, one time you did. I want you to think almost every day when you have a meal, is this what you do? If you do sit on pillows, put a check mark. For me, that's not true, so I would not put a check mark on that one. But you put a check mark if it's true for you. Okay, eat with chopsticks. Do you eat with chopsticks for almost every meal? If that's true, put a check mark. If not, leave it blank. Talk with family and friends. When you eat a meal, do you talk to the people who are at the table with you, like your family or your friends? If that's true, put a check mark. If not, leave it blank. Okay, the last part says, in my family, we... Think about for your own family. What is true when you have a meal with your own family? Maybe you're going to say, in my family, we pray before we eat. Or in my family, we sit at a table. Or in my family, we talk and laugh. In my family, we all cook together. Think about how you want to finish that sentence and write your answer on this line right here.